Well, good evening. You're very welcome to Inside Line Racing for round number 2 of ILR1 here at a very wet China. My name is Graham and I'm going to do my best to help bring you the action tonight. Awful idea to allow just me on ILR1, but alas, we're here. It's absolutely soaking. Going in here, I believe it's the first one on a lap. He's just getting ready at the end of this. Well, I mean, how do you even begin to even approach a lap in these conditions? Full wets for absolutely everyone. I don't know if that's going to be the case for the race, or if we're looking at possibly even injuries by the end of this qualifying session. It looks pretty heavy. But anyways, Golan is going to attempt to get started here. Just without assist, I just can't imagine conditions how I like to drive. This track is tough at the best of times without assists, no ABS, etc. But in these conditions, you can only commend each driver for getting a lap in at this stage. It really is. But that's what you expect, I guess, at the top of ILR1. So anyways, we'll go through the standings very quickly because there's not much to go over really from last race. Blizzard leads the way, 25 points. Paris in second, 18 points. Lickle in third, 15. Cliffy then fourth with 12. And then Lambo, who is not here today, on 10 points for finishing fifth. And for the constructors, again, over a point hashing over this too quickly, but Mercedes 31 points in first, Ferrari then 18 on second, Haas 15 in third, and then Red Bull in fourth on 12. So in these conditions, it's hard to say who would be favoured for today. But look, qualifying is one thing, race is another, and these conditions could definitely throw a spanner in the works when it comes to grid position, and we could end up having some cars out of place here and there. It's going to be really interesting to see, but we'll stick with Gonan, and I believe he is the first one on a fly lap, and then we'll kind of fill out after that, and we'll do our best from there to try and catch the action. It's just me today, so apologies if I miss anything. We'll just have to roll with it. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hello, feel free to comment along and tell me I'm awful, because I probably am. Big lock up there for Gonan as he tries to slow himself down towards the hairpin of turn 14, but let's see, fighting that back end all the time as he tries to get on the power as soon as possible. How's his entry into the final corner? Not too bad. Back end wanting to kick out as he gets the traction down, and a 146.5 to begin. We'll see how that stacks up for the rest of the field. There is Zenki. There's another car coming across the start finish line here. It's me, and he is just beginning a lap now. Well, again, these will be coming thick and fast. Cliffy, Golan's teammate, pops in second, 48.1. So then let's see Blizzard. I'm guessing we'll see how well that 46.5 stacks up in terms of a lap, because at the moment no one else is beating it. Alfie coming in third, Poe then coming in second, so no one touching the 46s yet. Can Blizzard change that? Janul has just done that, 46.9, and Blizzard then 45.6. Wow, see if anyone can have a go at that. I mean, that's setting the benchmark right there. You had Golden in the 46s, and people find it hard to get to that. But now 45 just changes this game entirely. Lickle then pops to third, 47.3. Brain then, CC Brain, 46.6, puts himself into third. So laps quick and fast. About Francis then, I do expect him to be fairly high up here today as well, but he's looking like nothing quite yet. 48.2 for Francis. So laps coming in thick and fast. The thing with getting laps in the wet is you're almost better off just to set yourself up with fuel and just keep running. Just keep running and see what you can do. Joom then pops in 47.4 for Joom then on his banker. It's so hard to see, it really is. If you've got a car in front of you and it's near you, it's going to be kicking up all sorts of spray, and it's difficult. It's so, look, I can barely see. I'm watching this full HD 60 frames. You're probably watching it on YouTube 720 or 60, but I can barely see when the Rolex banner above that Zenki's just driven under. Like that's hard to see even from close enough. Like easy, like it really is very tricky. So you can barely see that Toro Rosso if it's me, but he does come across and set at 47.1. Golan is completed a second lap, but hasn't been able to improve on his time. Still stuck in the 46s. Just fighting his way. No casualties yet, which is surprising. You would expect someone to have a spin at least at this stage. Maybe someone has. I can barely. I'm telling you, it's so hard to see. So I can only imagine how hard it is for drivers trying to nail that, get that perfect lap in. I can only imagine how difficult that is. Blizzard then comes into the pits. couple of cars around in the final corner. Alfie then, can he improve? He's the slowest driver. Set a lap time until Leon set that lap time, but no improvement then for Alfie. 49.9 in these full wet conditions. How about Rafa then? Comes across the final corner, misses the apex. It's so difficult to slow down. But he's going to come across. I think this is going to be the slowest lap so far, if it wasn't invalid, which it looks like it was. Abiodun then, 51.2, so struggling with these conditions early on. It is just jam-packed out there, really is. Cars trying to get out of each other's way. I mean, look at this, for example. I'm not sure. I think Golan's on a slowdown lap, to be fair. But it's 20 drivers, that's what will happen. It's even the track is kind of big as this. It's tough, especially in the infield section, if you're stuck behind a car, to get out the way without going off track completely. See if we can pick up another car. Cliffy then heading on to the back straight. A lot of cars are, to be fair. See if you can pick someone up near the end of a lap. Sterling West, close to the end of a lap. Wayne getting off the track to get out of the way. We'll stick with Sterling West, who I believe is a reserve today. I can barely see him emerge through the rain, but he's there. Actually pop up with a Toro Rosso. I think that is It's Me. So he's gone off for another lap, and I think he's slower on this one, so no improvement for the time being. Sterling West comes across the line. It's a 57.9. It is the slowest that we've seen so far of drivers that have set times, which is mostly everyone now at this stage getting their eyes in, getting a feel for the track and the conditions. It's very, very difficult, especially around China, one of the more challenging circuits. On a good day, it does make strategy a lot easier for drivers now. That headache as such between the ultra soft and the soft, if there was a headache, that's taken away, so they're free to start the race on whenever tyre, assuming of course that it does remain dry for the duration, or at least for the start of the race. You see, some people have decided to just keep going out in laps. So Alfie here is on 3 laps, Francis 2 laps, so just try and get their eye in. It's what I would do personally, is just fuel up for 3 or 4 laps and just, yeah, go at it, see what you can do. That's Rafa then, 13th, or 14th rather, because Paris has just come across another 49 flat, pumps up into 12th place. So there's a lot of separation with the field, and that usually is the case in the wet, certainly in the race. We'll see what happens if it's dry in the race. I actually don't know if it's, haven't been told if it's dry or wet. I actually don't want to know. Oh, Rafa then, is he just getting out of the way of a car? No, I think that was a genuine moment there, heading out of, heading down towards turn 6. So mostly coming out of turn 4 is, if you could guess, they count that little kink before 6, before that hairpin of 6 as turn 5. But coming out of 4 then, as you unwind out of the, I guess, the snail section, getting on the power too quickly, especially in these conditions, easy to unsettle the car and get yourself in a bit of tangle. So everyone in the top 9 then in the pits. Francis on a lap, or sorry, still out on track. I don't think he's on a lap at this time. Paris looks like he's on a down lap as well, if judging by the ERS mixtures here. It's I'm telling you, visibility, I don't mean to harp on this too long, but it's insane how little you can actually see. It can only, if this was a race, you know, we'd be seeing front wings missing here, there, everywhere. Even though these guys are ILR1, the conditions are just that tough. And into the pits comes Alfie. Francis then, look at that, that's been the theme you're constantly seeing. They're just drifting, trying to fight the car, trying to stay on the power as much as they can, but without absolutely losing the back end as well, and into some wall on that back straight. So then Rafa is coming in, so majority of the field now is in the pits, although Zenki is on an outlap. So though it looks like he's on used tyres. That's an interesting one there. I'm sure, to be fair, the wear in the wet for qualifying isn't that excessive. You know, it doesn't. You're talking very marginal differences between a fresh set and a used set of wets. So it can be pretty marginal at times. China maybe not so much, because the tyre wear is a little bit more kind of higher, I guess is what I'm looking for. It's higher than, say, I don't know, say Canada, for example. China is quite harsh on the tyre, so I think there would be a little bit of an advantage to be gained from switching a pair of boots. And well, we have, no, okay, I was going to say Abiodun looking to see with the intermediates, but quickly switches back to wet. So track, I think he'd be a madman. I think I haven't seen the Delta, but I think he'd have to be a madman to attempt the intermediates in these conditions. But hey, I guess the rain has lessened up somewhat. Visibility looks a little better, so you never know. I think we will see some people possibly, maybe near the end, choose some intermediates. We'll see. A couple of people venturing, seeing, although Doom cycling through the dries there, I'm not sure those are quite going to work. Sorry, I'm not trying to pick up a car here. So, some people cycling through the intermediates in the garage, to be fair. And that is Barry out. Where is he? In Sector 3. Not sure where Barry's lost it, but Barry then, if he has lost it, he's retired and has not set a time, so that'll be 19th at the very most for Barry. He's got a lot of work to do then in the dry. So, yeah, see, people are thinking about the inters, but then switching back. It's, yeah, the track I don't think is just there yet. So, Golden is on the fresh set of wets, and he's going to start a flying lap now. I'm sure there's others on a flying lap. Where is, I think, yeah, Wayne's not on a lap, fighting the back end coming out of turn 4. Again, Zenki, and towards the end of Sector 2, fighting the back end, trying to just hold on for dear life. See, Francis on 5 lap on tires, so Francis had literally gone. He's stuck with his, either he's, yeah, he was in the pit, so he's gone out on a used set of the wet compound. So obviously happy enough with how that's turned out. We'll stay with Golden because I do think he is the furthest forward on the lap, and if someone isn't, sorry. So we'll stick with him. I think he has actually backed out, to be fair. He's put down that ERS mixture, so look at the traffic on the back straight. Imagine jostling for a position here, but to be fair, I think the visibility has improved. The cloud is lifted somewhat, so looking good then. I think for at least some smoother running. Whether that gets to inters at this stage with 3 minutes, just under 4 minutes left, that's probably doubtful. I'm sure someone will try it. You know, there's always one, isn't there? Always one will try their luck with the intermediates. So we'll see who that is, if at all. Go for anyone on the lap. Wayne yet to set a time. Lewis, the other one, yet to set a time yet. Of course, ILRT Lewis not able to make it today, so that's a shame. Interesting to see him in these conditions. And look at that, Wayne then, having not set a lap time at all, goes up to third with a 46.1. So it's going to be really interesting now, these second runs, kind of how much the track has improved, if it has improved. And I think it has improved because the cloud is lifted. It's no more longer a monsoon as such, but it's definitely lighter rain now. Even if it means that inters are still not the quickest tire. Although that said, Lickle has decided to venture out on a set of inters. Look at that. I don't think that's to do with grip. It's more so him getting out of the way of traffic. But a couple of other people now trying intermediate Paris now and inters. So I think we are beginning to see the crossover point now between wets and inters. So it's anyone's. If that's the case, it is absolutely anyone's game then, heading out into these final 2.5 minutes. Then some people have committed to the wets, some on inters. Let's see how it works out. At least 3 cars now on a set of inters. Janul then as well on inters then. Francis doing the same thing, so let's see if Gonan could get. No, see, Gonan sees too far. He started a flying lap now, and he won't have enough time by the time he comes to the end of the lap to get back in and change for a set of inters. So it really is now or never at this stage. If you would have to be in the pit lane now, basically, to get out in time for a set of inters, and be Odin then out on inters as well, Alfie. So more and more people venturing out. Now will the leaders then, as Rafa then comes up to 4th place, 46 flash for Rafa. So you can see the track is definitely getting quicker and quicker. So it's going to be utter chaos to end here. So I apologize if I miss anything to end here, because it is just, there's 2 Mercedes then popping out then at the same time on the intermediate. I'm going to have to get a move on, to be fair. They're not going to have enough time, I don't think, to get this done. They've come out too late. They're not going to make it in time. If the track, unless the track is improved by 6-7 seconds, but even then that's too late. So they're going to miss out then. So they're going to get the use then. So who's actually going to get use of these inters then? 2 Saubers then have planned this a little bit better than the Mercedes, unless they're happy, of course, to stay out on those tires. But if their intention was to, as Brain goes in the second 45.7, so second man to pop into the 45s then is, second man, sorry, there's a few people pop into the 45s as Wayne, as well as Wayne now is improved on time. So again, just to show you, the track is getting quicker and quicker. Where is Gonan? And again, He's in non-ERS mode, so he hasn't hooked it up here to end. Where is Joom? Joom then going near the end of his lap. Trying to pick someone up that's actually on a lap. Zenki struggling for grip. I'll pick up Joom then. I don't think he's actually on a lap, but we'll find out in a second. And he did, yeah, pops up 45.7, so just 6,000 between himself and CC Brain then. So let's try and pick up some more cars. Checkered flag is close. Look at these guys queuing. It is utter chaos down there. Absolutely mad. See if you can pick up anyone on a lap. See, these guys are all just starting their laps now at this stage. I think Poe is actually on a lap. And look at the traffic. Abiodun managed to get away just in time. But I don't know if that's affected Poe's lap or not. Here he comes then down towards the checkered or not the checkered flag, but the finish line. And he is still in 9th place. Or he is in 9th place. Checkered flag then. Oh, look at this racing side by side. Rafa and not sure who has. Oh, it's been contact. He's certainly away and spinning. And there's Abiodun involved. So checkered flag is now out. The Mercedes have missed the cut. They've not done that in time. Wayne is done then as well. So let's see how much changes out. Anyone who crosses the flag now is done. This is it for them. They're flying laps. You can capture anyone again. Side by side racing. It's not what you want to see in qualifying. So here's Paris then coming out of the final corner. Back end slipping and sliding. But he comes across the line on intermediates. Can he get provisional pole? He can. 45.4 for Paris then. Blizzard didn't get a lap in, of course, as we know. So you can pick up anyone quickly on the wets. As Lickle into the bars, as him done. We're qualifying Zenki then on the full wets. What's his improvement? It's only 9th place for Zenki. 46.2. So he's in the wall. Cliffy then coming towards. Oh, here we go then. Leon then into the heavy braking zone of the hairpin. I think he'll be the next one, I believe, to cross the line. So let's see what the Renault can do. Heading out of turn 16 then. Is this good enough for pole position? It's 2nd place for now on wets. Good time 45.4. Now then, utter chaos then is going to ensue. Who is first then? Who's at the head of this train? Cliffy then. No for Cliffy. A lot of people off the track. See, it's so congested that a lot of people have just been called the wrong place at the wrong time. Sure, there'll be lots of reports afterwards, but here is Janul then. He was looking quick on the wets. How about on the inters? Looks like it's a bit slower. It's not good enough. It's 12th place. CC Brain then pulls into the pits. Is that it then for qualifying? Rafa then, because everyone else kind of either mucked up their last run or ran into traffic or something. I think Rafa will be the last one, and he's not on the quick lap either. So I think that is your lot for qualifying at the Chinese Grand Prix. It did get dry enough for intermediates at the end. Some were on the wrong tyre, others had horrific traffic issues. What it has meant is that we've got a lot of cars out of place. I wouldn't mind the incident in the front, because when the game takes over after checkered flag and it can't drive. So Blizzard is still looking pretty good though, as wheels go flying. If you ever want to laugh, just watch the AI try to drive after the checkered flag is dropped. It is pretty pathetic. Excuse me. So I don't know what the conditions are for the race. We'll find out. Let's see then. Anything in the comments from the drivers regarding that qualifying? I don't think so. So then run down to the grid. Lots of different tyres. Of course, nothing. It means nothing for the race unless it is similar conditions. So Paris is on pole. Leon 2nd. Joom 3rd. Blizzard 4th. Is Brains 5th. Wayne 6th. Francis 7th. Rafa 8th. It's going on the 9th. Zenki 10th. Alfie 11th. Sterling West in 12th. Janul 13th. Poe 14th. It's me 15th. Lickle 16th. Cliffy 17th. Abiodun 18th. Lewis 19th. Barry in 20th. I tell you what, that is so much pace at the back end of this grid. It is going to be utter carnage, I think, going through the field for some. It's not going to work out the way they want. It literally can't. It can't work out for everyone. Someone's going to lose out along the way. So let's see then. I don't know if this is dry or not. We will soon find out. And if it is, it means it'll be very interesting. Very interesting race indeed. It is bone dry. Okay, so that is going to be very interesting then for the grid. Does anyone even dare try ultra softs? I do say there's always one, but we'll find out. The majority of people move on softs. If you're outside the top 10, it is worth putting on the mediums. Of course, if you're towards the back, possibly, if you feel you've got the pace and you're out of position, softs might be a good position, might be a good tire for you if you're in, even if you're in 17th, 18th. Of course, the risk you run with the medium, of course, is if you're at the back and or wherever you are really at this stage, and you damage your wing, then it's either do you hang it out with wing damage, or do you just bite the bullet and do the two stop. A lot of variables at this one. We'll see how the drivers navigate it. We'll see. I imagine most would have preferred or gone in the direction of a dry setup. Some may have gambled for the wet setup and gone for track position. So we'll see how that turns out in the race. Excuse me. So then, here we go. Formation lap, I believe, is on. Right then. Let's see if I can actually select the right thing. Okay, there is one. It is Barry on the Ultra Softs. That is bold. He is going to be like an absolute rocket to begin. So he's on the Ultra Softs. Everyone then, most people prefer in the mediums. Joom and Zenki are the only ones inside the top 10 that are taking the softs. Lewis then, the other driver, the only driver of 3. I think he's actually disconnected, to be fair, has Lewis, so you won't even get to see that. So Joom then and Zenki the only ones on the softs in the top 10, and in general Barry the only man on the grid on ultras, and everyone else then preferring the medium compound tire. You can see that's a strange one from Barry. I like I was explaining, it wouldn't surprise me to go aggressive if you've got pace, but that's a very different level of aggression. We'll see how it works out. He's got hope he overtakes almost everyone to in this opening stint, whatever 3, 4, 5 laps he can squeeze out of those tires. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know comment away who's going to win. Hard to bet against Blizzard, but you just never know. You just never know. There's a lot of pace potential down here at this end of the group between Little Abiodun, etc. Possible podium for these guys. Oh, that's horrific lag. Is that Paris? It is. Hopefully that won't be too bad for the drivers in front, or behind rather. In front. Good one. Short run down to turn 1. Is there a chance for Leon? How about Joom then on the softs? He is the furthest forward on the softs. Can he get the jump maybe on Leon and Paris? We'll find out. We'll find out if Blizzard can get the job done. Can anyone outside the top 10 get a podium? It's all to play for in the next 28 laps of inside line racing here at China. We'll go on board with Joom for the start and see how he gets on, at least on launch, and then see what chaos unfolds into turn 1. If I miss it, I apologise, but here we go then. Getting ready for the start of this one. The back of the grid being filled by that Ferrari of Barry on Ultras. Got a bit of space between himself and the cars in front. Right then, here we go then. ILR1 around China. We're getting set to go then. The lights. Here we go. 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Wheel spinny start for Leon. Joom's going to have him straight away heading down to turn 1. Can he make a look at Paris? Paris covers the inside line, so he's going to be safe into turn 1. And then Blizzard's got himself up into third. So bad start for Leon. The rest of the field looks like they're fairly up ahead. Oh, look at that contact. But they all seem to file through cleanly, at least through turns 1 and 2. Oh, a bit more contact. That is going to then being pushed around. There's Rafa involved. Francis is there too, but heading down towards then turn 6. Clean start, what you want to see. As Leon trying to defend from Zenki. He's at a horrible start. As Leon's got CC Brain on his outside. He's in the middle of a sandwich. Contact. He's been battered around. Zenki then prevails. So good start for Zenki then on the softs. He's up into 5th already. Leon trying to defend from Brain. Barry's had an absolutely monster start. He's already into 12th, making good use of those ultra soft tyres. Oh, contact between, I think that was Brain and Francis. They cut across the track. Yes, Brain's got damage. Francis then is off the track as well. It doesn't look like he's got damage, but he's definitely lost a lot of positions. So they head down towards turn 11 for the first time. So they squeeze through. Still a lot of people going side by side. Barry then absolutely picking his way up the field, and CC Brain a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place and not handing it back. Heading down the straight though, Blizzard looking to have a go at Paris straight away. Lap 1 already for Blizzard, having the go for the lead. It's been a dream start for him. Can he hang it around the outside of turn 14, trying to switch back? Joom is right behind him on softs as well. Should anything go wrong, I think Paris is going to defend this one. And there's Wayne and Zenki as well. There's a lot of activity going on, but we'll stick down for the battle for the lead. Heading down towards turn 1. Lap 1 is over. Lap 2 then. Blizzard going down the inside. He's going to get the move done. Oh, very, very close to contact. Good racing. A little bit of contact then afterwards. The back end slipping away from Blizzard. And that's going to allow Paris through. But he's going to have the outside then for turn 3 and 4. He tries to stick it. Cliffy is into the pit, so not a good start for Cliffy. And Blizzard looks like he's held it. Can you hold it into turn 6? He has to defend the line. Joom there as well. We're going board Joom for a good view. Blizzard, oh, a little bit of contact, puts Paris off the track, and Joom has to get off the throttle to avoid hitting into the back of him. So Blizzard then is into the lead then. Still Wayne and Zenki then in 4th and 5th. Leon in 6th, poor start for him, but he's still hanging on. Going then behind him in 7th. Barry in 8th on the Super Sterling West 9th. We'll have a look at the positions gained. You got Brain and It's Me. Did Brain not pit then for that to repair that damage? He did not. So let's have a quick look at the position change. So obviously Barry, big winner there. Blizzard up a few spots as well. And Zenki as well up a few spots, looking to go down the inside of Wayne, heading through the bank in turn 13. This will be an impressive move. No DRS yet, of course. Let's see who's got a bit more straight line speed. Trying to dip into the toe. Has to be careful not to desync. And there's Golden and Leon as well, so plenty of action. And Joom and Parison, the contact on the outside. Oh, there's more contact, a little bit of desyncing as Joom round. He's into the barrier and he's damaged his wing. He's still in the race, but not what he would have wanted. Oh, there's a Ferrari off as well. That's Paris. Paris is out as well, so he was caught up in that after all. So he is out, and we've lost Paris, and one of the front runners of this race. Meanwhile, Barry and Leon battering away side by side. A lot of penalties flying around. Zenki then with a penalty for corner cutting as he's up to 3rd and looking to get past Wayne in 2nd. And a VSC has been deployed then. Virtual safety car has been deployed, and we can kind of regain our breath here somewhat. A lot of things happened. Sorry, I missed a few things, but we can kind of recover and take this opportunity to try and get things under control. Blizzard is leading. Wayne then up to 2nd after that incident. Zenki 3rd, but has a 5-second penalty. Golden in 4th. Barry then up to 5th. So he's got all of his front wings. So this has been an absolutely great start from Barry, but he's going to have to pit very, very soon. Leon then 6th. Sterling West 7th. Rafa 8th. Poe 9th. It's me 10th. So a lot of chop and change has been happening throughout this grid. There you go. You can see Joom's got damage. Brain's got damage. Francis, has he pitted? It's a good chance, yes. So everyone from CC Brain has pitched, so CC Brain's got more damage despite having made that stop. Cliffy then on softs as well. So so much going on. I'm trying to do my best to keep with it. I'm trying my best to actually select the right piece of telemetry I want. So and then there you go then. So the green flag once again. How is Zenki? Zenki's caught Wayne napping just a bit, and on the main straight, he's going to go down the inside in towards turn 14. And he's left the space, to be fair, and was, well, left more than enough space to be fair, and down goes Zenki into P2 then. Meanwhile, Leon trying to defend from Barry. Can he defend? No, Barry's got that position. Barry then into P5. Absolutely lightning stuff from Barry to begin here. Meanwhile, we've got Poe on the back of Rafa, of course, now. Looks like DRS is still enabled, so I was unsure after a safety car VSC if that would still be in effect, or we would rate 3 laps. Meanwhile, Leon trying to take that place back from Barry, but Barry's going to have the inside line. And Leon, oh, a bit of a twitch in the back end from Barry, and can now Leon regain that P5 in down towards turn 6. Barry, he has gone defensive, forcing Leon to go the long way round. Tries to switch back. We're getting close now to the territory where these ultras are beginning to fade away, but I think Barry has done enough, I think, to justify that selection with these ultra softs. He's done enough, I think, now, and we'll just have to try and stretch him a little bit further and take the mediums then to the end. But he's avoided the damage by the looks of it, and he's definitely made up more than enough places. So good stint then from Barry as CC Brain is out of the race. So he had wing damage, we knew, after the safety car. And nice little battle here for P5, starting from Barry, Leon, but it's more so Sterling West looking to attack more so than Leon on Barry. Yellow flag in sector 1. Could be for CC Brain's entire car, but here we go then. Leon has been free falling a bit to begin this Chinese Grand Prix, and looks like he's going to continue to fall a little bit further as Sterling West down the inside with the DRS. Can Leon keep the position? He's been squeezed a little bit. Has he got the traction? I think he's a bit too far back to launch it down the inside. Oh, he does though! A little bit ill-advised. Sterling has managed to keep the car in a straight line, but he won't be happy about that. That was a little ambitious from Leon. It was a little bit further back than ideal to make a move. Meanwhile, Barry's into the pits. They're still fighting side by side through turn 1 and 2, and Rafa right there as well, behind them, as well as TTG Poe. This is allowed Golden to escape just a bit, and then in 4th he's just behind Wayne then, but this battle's still raging. Then Sterling West holding on to it. A bit of a train now emerging, but now see if he can clear it, and that is then him into P5. Then Leon in 6th, then under pressure from Rafa, and then Poe then basically all the way back to basically Mickle in 12th. So from 5th to 12th they're all within their own DRS, so it'll be interesting to see who's running a bit more straight line speed, and whoever is, be interested to see if they can make progress. They're all on the same tyres as well. They're all on mediums, same laps in terms of wear. So it'll be interesting to see if this is just one giant DRS train, or is there a little bit someone running a bit less wing. Let's see if we get the best exit out of this snail turn 13. One of my least favourite corners on the calendar personally. Let's see then who gets the best. So Sterling West has already got a good little buffer on Leon. Leon will have DRS, I believe. No, he does not. So he was just outside that second zone, and look at this, trying to defend, and Leon just lets a Rafa go. Will he let his teammate go then as well? I say let him go, he was overtaken. I wonder if there will be any team orders now at Renault. Will Leon let Poe go, or they try and battle edge, because it is only round 2. No need to really push in team orders yet, and it's so difficult to execute these orders again when there's so many cars around. You're going to end up giving advantage to someone else. Oh, and it's me running into the back then of Poe, heading through turn 1 and 2 as Blizzard is disconnected. So Blizzard, the race leader, then looking very comfortable at the front. He is disconnected, and that allows Zenki then to get into the race lead. So Zenki on the soft end leading this race. Blizzard going to have to rejoin as quickly as possible, as I think TTG Poe and me fighting alongside, heading out of turn 6 through turns 7 and 8. As Joom sets the fastest lap, but they're all coming across the ghost of Blizzard. He's got a little bit of time to get back into that Mercedes, but not too long, because there's a lot of cars from basically 5th onwards. It is very, very tight, and he can find himself out of the points very, very quickly if he doesn't get back into that Mercedes. Meanwhile, a bit of a twitch for Poe heading through turn 13, and the back end still kicking out as Blizzard's losing all the time now, all the positions now through this section of the track. They'll breeze by, so this is extra positions everyone is delighted at. Poe has lost sight a bit of Leon, and looks like, well, he's holding on to be fair, but much later on the brakes. It's me, is he too late? Poe on the inside line. Ooh, a little bit of contact. Alfie there as well behind, watching with keen interest. Will actually go on board with the Sauber, and it's me, at least got the move done out of turn 16, but now poor run for Poe out of that turn as well. And so we'll put Alfie right there as well. They all have DRS, and the space is left for Alfie to explore by Poe. To be fair, a little bit of contact, but looks like that Alfa Romeo, oh, I thought he was through for a second, but Poe fighting back. Good fight back there from Poe. He is keeping hold of that P8 for now, but he's still under pressure. Oh, he's going for the Ricardo switch down the inside. Oh, he's almost cooked it. I'm pretty sure Poe would have had to take avoidant action, but Alfie has got that move done, and is now puts it into 8th place. And Junot then down the inside, see him swoop through there on Poe, and he's now disconnected as well. So we're seeing a few disconnects now occurring. Always worrying when you're streaming, but it looks like everyone's still here at least. So has Blizzard got back in the car? Yes, so Blizzard is back in his car. He's in 13th, but he's got, to be fair, he's not too far out of the action, because the gaps are very, very close. So he's lost a lot of positions, but could be worse. Could always be worse. He's managed to get back in at the very least. as then he gets by Poe. Of course, Poe we just saw disconnect. So that's unfortunate for him. It's me then. To be fair, I was not on board with that because he was about 6 or 7 tenths behind, at least on the timing screens. So It's Me's come from a long way back. He seems to be very, very confident on the brakes. Does It's Me super late in the brakes that last lap as well, and maybe that's what's helped him get up. But he's into 6th now. He's cleared both Renaults and can set off after Rafa now. He was all over the back of Sterling West in P4. So where I think the most, pretty much there's 4 seconds separating him from Golden in 3rd. Golden's just dropped a bit back of Wayne. He's 2 seconds now behind that Force India. Alright, it'll be interesting to see now if they can clear, if Rafa can clear Sterling, see if he can make any inroads on that Red Bull. But meanwhile, still very, very close between this lot. Leon, Alfie, Janul, Lickle, and even Abiodun is close, and now Blizzard will be getting closer to the back of this as well. They're all pent up, and it's be getting Blizzard closer and closer. But for the time being, it does look like, well, actually we'll see if he can shape up a move on Leon Canalfi. But we've got Barry then. Of course, Barry now on the mediums, and he's cleared Poe because Poe is a ghost, has not been able to rejoin as of yet. Now let's see. Oh, a bit of a wide exit there for Leon. Let's see if that it's effective. You can see even before DRS that Alfie is absolutely reeling him in, and even with DRS for Leon, see how much time he lost. He was well over a second out of It's Me by the time he got to the activation point, and going for a dive then. Oh, contact between Nickel and Janul. I was a bit late from Nickel, but looks like he has got that move done a little late. I think Janul saw him coming, and I think luckily for his own race was able to kind of take some evasive action. Meanwhile, Rafa and Sterling West, this is a battle for P4. Rafa's been getting close. Good defensive driving there from Sterling West, positioning his car perfectly there so that Rafa couldn't just slip back through then the inside of turn 4. And he's got a bit of a buffer then for now, at least until the next DRS straight. So then Blizzard then quickly closing 1.4, and we got Francis and Cliffy. So their laps, the race is kind of compromised very early on, but they are scrapping away for P14, sorry, P15 even. Side by side, good racing here between Cliffy and Francis. And Francis has got the move for now. Will Cliffy have a dive into turn 6? He'll file back in. Meanwhile, at the front, the lead has come down just a little bit. 1.2 seconds from Zenki to Wayne. Of course, now we're getting closer and closer to the territory where the softs are beginning to lose a bit of their life, and the mediums coming into play a bit more. But still a few laps, I believe, until Zenki will be making that pit stop on the softs. But there's no doubt that Wayne is definitely getting closer, as is Abiodun to Janul. But of course, the problem is that everyone's got DRS at this part of the grid, and Zenki into the pits. And so I thought he could take those softs a bit further. He's only taken them 8 laps, has Zenki. So he pits. Any activity then on the straight will go with Zenki. If not, nothing quite. So then obviously the obvious choice is to send mediums, and he is serving that 5-second stop go. That looks like another set of softs. It couldn't be another set of softs. We'll find out in a sec when he gets moving. It is another set of softs, and you know what? It's definitely got cloudier here as well. It is, the sun has definitely stopped shining, and I wonder if this is the reason then we're seeing a lot of people choose the mediums, as Blizzard's going to go down the inside of Abiodun into turn 6. He's got a lot of making up to do as Blizzard. Bit of contact from Abiodun on exit. Can he hang around in turn 7, side by side? He'll have the inside then for 8, where he should be able to complete the move. And there you go then. Blizzard up into 10th rather. And Abiodun trying to have a sniff. So I think this could possibly be a rain affected session, if that, because there's no reason why otherwise why Zenki would choose a set of softs instead of a set of mediums. With the track getting darker and darker, the majority of people starting on mediums, I think they're trying to hang it out until the rain. We'll see how that develops. Lap 10 of 28. Oh, if there's rain, that blows this baby wide open. But a couple more people now getting onto the back of Sterling West. Rafa has been able to complete this move, and now that's allowed It's Me to catch up. So he has dropped Alfie, but it's just allowed a bit more company at that part of the grid. Blizzard then getting close to Janul as well. With DRS, we have a look down the inside, much more straight line speed when you go for the dive. The door's left open, and Blizzard's going to try and go through it as they wind round turn 1. And, well, to be fair, I think he's going to get this move done, but Janul trying to fight back, a little bit of contact. Blizzard have the best line for exit. Almost running into the back of him, and I think he has picked up wing damage on that right hand side. Has to be careful not to desync Janul any further, but I think there's definitely damage to the right end plate of that Mercedes, and that's a big blow. That's another blow for Blizzard, because not only did he lose all that time when he was in the, well, he was in the race lead when he was disconnected, but now it looks like he sustained some wing damage as well, and that's unfortunate. Because if we look on the Mercedes of Francis, you can see that nice little chunky bit of end plate is fairly intact on that car, whereas with Blizzard it is of course missing. Oh, beautiful helicopter shot. We'll stick with this. Basically from Sterling West down from 3rd down to 10th and 11th with Abiodun right there as well. It is anyone's game. We'll stick with the helicopter shot. It's gone. That's a shame. Leon has fallen out of DRS, and that's going to allow Nickel a great run, and that's going to allow Nickel the straight line speed he needs. He's going to get this move done. Can Leon switch back? Oh, Nickel's gone to a half spin, and that allows Leon to get back then into that P7. Did that compromise Nickel any further? No. Luckily for him, he was had a little bit of a gap to Janul, his teammate, just behind him. Sorry, not teammate, Force India. It looks very similar on the side there. But he's going to have another look. Is Nickel on Leon? And he had a better run this time. I think is that a drop of rain? It is a drop of rain. Here we go then. The rain is falling in China. Here we go. This is what they were all waiting for. This is why Zenki is on a set of softs. The rain has arrived in China. It is going to be a rain affected session. Now the question is, how long does it take before it takes effect? As Janul tries to go down the inside of Leon, bit of a dive. Leon made contact. Abiodun is trying to get by on Blizzard, who of course we know has wing damage, and he is now into 10th place, and they're still squaring off the Renault and the Force India through turns 7 and 8. Trying to hang it around the outside. The grip now only getting worse as the rain continues to fall. Good racing here, to be fair. They left each other good space here. I say that, and Janul runs wide. Abiodun going to have a look down into turn 12, or sorry, turn 11. Back end slipping and sliding. I'll have to keep an eye on the lap times then. DRS still enabled, and that's going to allow Rafa Shori the chance. He looks like he's It's Me the chance to get by on Rafa. He's closer than he has been in, well, since ever really, and he's going to go down the inside. No, decides to fire back in, but a lock up for Rafa, and that's going to allow It's Me to go on through, but he will have the inside line and retakes it. But how's the exit then? He's got DRS as well. The rain coming down pretty hard. They are 1.1 seconds. He's 1.1 seconds slower on his best lap is It's Me. So obviously way too early then to be thinking about a switch to the intermediates. As they tiptoe around, Abiodun trying to do the same with Leon. We'll actually stick with It's Me for a sec. See his exit is out of turn 4 rather, and he's not going to be close enough to make a move. So Wayne's still leading the way then, 3.3 seconds ahead of Golden. He has extended that advantage. The rain is falling in China. There's a couple of ways to judge of when to switch to wet tires. If you're not unsure, you can obviously wait until the DRS is disabled, but generally speaking, you want to be in about, when you're lapping 7 seconds slower than your best time as such, taking into account your tire wear as well. That's when it's really beginning to be the crossover point, as Janul picks up a very rare penalty that we've seen so far today. So I have to take that into consideration. If you're about 4 or 5 seconds slower to sector 2, that's also close to indication that it's time to pitch for inters. If you notice that there's a significant increase in the time lost between one lap and the next lap in terms of, say, time through sector 2, say, if you're 1 second slower through one lap and a lap to sector 2, and all of a sudden then you're 4 seconds slower on your quickest time the next lap, that's a good indication to pit as well, because the track has gotten considerably worse over one lap and by extension by the next lap it will be a good time to pit. It is also one of the longer tracks as well in terms of length. Is that Blizzard then? He's into the pits then. So Blizzard into the pits. There's a yellow flag somewhere as well. So Blizzard then has not slowed down in time. It's the other thing you could take into consideration in the wets, in the wet conditions, is that it does take a bit longer to slow down, and Blizzard unfortunately has picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Couldn't slow down in time, but he is the first onto the intermediates, as Leon then, Abiodun. Leon's been losing a lot of time, and look at that, they're 1 point, well, that's not a really fair comparison. I was going to say Abiodun's 1.7 slower as he gets by Leon, 1.7 seconds slower through sector 1, and Blizzard then retires. He parks the car, and that is it for the championship leader. He is out of this race. It looked so positive to begin, 4th place on the grid, and that is it. Then he will not be gaining any points today. So look at that then, it's me 3.9 seconds slower. A yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, and that's because Francis is onto the grass. He's got Poe right behind him, almost runs into the back of him. Meanwhile, it's me again trying to get this move done on Rafa. DRS is still enabled, but getting closer now to the point where it will be disabled. I think one more lap, I think we're going to see people into the pits, if not this lap. What is Wayne going to do? And Wayne is coming into the pits then, so I'm guessing this is the time to follow. Let me just pick up someone who's coming through sector 3. I think we just missed it. So anyways, are they all coming into the pits? Yes, it looks like they are. Will anyone continue? Oh, backhand slipped away from Rafa there in the pits, and trying to race alongside Sebastian Vettel style. It's me, but couldn't get the move done. So then, who's carried on? Abiodun's carry on then. You do have to take into consideration people, your teammates pitting as well. So intermediates are going on. Pit stop is a flurry of activity. Wayne is coming out then, and he's just going to be alongside Zenki. Let's see then if this is the right time or a lap too early possibly. Let's find out between Zenki and Wayne as they kind of still adjust to their tyres. Zenki on relatively fresh, well, middle of the road kind of softs. Wayne on fresh inters. Even enough at the moment. Let's see, the conditions continuing to worse, but you have to say Wayne isn't dropping Zenki quite yet. So who's carried on? So Janul's carried on, of course his teammate pitted. Abiodun carried on, his teammate pitted. Zenki of course is yet to make a stop, and now I think you can see Wayne pulling away, so this is the time. So excellent call, and that's the thing, you know, these drivers know when to do it, because I believe DRS has not been disabled yet, unless I missed the alert, which is, there it is. So there it is. So DRS has not been disabled, so it really is a judgment call. You have to feel the track, the conditions, all these things, and Wayne can buy his teammate then into second. So we have to, it's a gut feeling basically. You'll kind of know when it's right, and it only comes with practice, that kind of thing. If you're watching it from the lower leagues and such, and wondering how do they call that before DRS has been disabled, I kind of explained it a little bit, but it's all about feel as well. So if nothing else, go with your gut, and usually it turns out to be the correct decision. Oh, Rafa, a bit of a moment there, heading out of turn 13, almost got himself, he did get himself onto the grass, but managed to keep hold of it, and now we'll see, we can see how much they're struggling. Janul is really struggling, Zenki right behind him. Abiodun has got a penalty for that accession then heading into the pits. That's a bit harsh. Tries to slow down in time, he does. Janul then, Zenki pitching. That's a weird one for Zenki. If they knew that, some weird strategies then, if Zenki knew this, if they knew, the drivers knew this rain was coming, bold move then to do softs for Zenki to start with, then obviously have to make a pit stop, and then even more bold for Barry to do ultras, if indeed, and then they would have known, of course, the rain was coming. So sadly, with the rain kind of comes the separation in terms of battles on track. We'll see what happens, but already, but you know, the top 5, you know, they're all over a second apart. It's really then when you get to It's Me and Alfie, then you get close and more time then between the cars, and then Janul and Zenki right behind each other, and then Francis just behind Cliffy, still going at these two. So very evenly matched. Their races, of course, been compromised from the very start. And Joom, oh hello, we got a little bit of excuse me, there's very close action between Joom as he comes out of the pits for his wets, and Poe's going to have the inside line. This is the mighty battle for P15. It's no matter where you are, it's fierce competition in ILR1. But Poe holding on for the time being. Will zoom. He's got to go around the outside. And will he try to switch back? Good exit. But can't quite get far enough alongside to hang it around through turns 7 and 8. Although Rafa then has been caught a bit by Alfie, and it's me as well. Just a bit too far in front. So Wayne then has got a bit of an advantage, and he was about 4 or so seconds, wasn't he, before the stops, and now that gap has pulled away to over 7 ahead of Gonan in second place, and Sterling West. And gotta give a shout out to Sterling West there, because it looked like a number of occasions before this wet stint came that he was going to lose that P3. There was Rafa behind him, then it's me was behind him. He's managed to hold on, and he's now got a bit more breathing room between himself and Rafa, 2.4 seconds. So we've got Francis and Cliffy. Look at this side by side heading through turn 14. A little bit of contact front to rear, Cliffy and Francis. So holding on then. This is P13 and runs a bit wide. Does Francis? Well, very wide. Doesn't look like any visible wing damage. We got it's again very very close between it's me and Alfie. As they twist and turn through turn 7 and 8. Now the question is this going to get heavy enough for a set of full wet tyres? At the moment you would say no. This is just a light rain. But of course a lot can change, as we saw in qualifying how quickly it kind of took to get from full wet to intermediate in just a 18-16 minute span. So anything is possible, but it does look a little light for the time being. As it's been contact between Zenki and Janul. Zenki going very very wide as they head down towards turn 11. So wait for them to come into shot. Janul then still ahead, and is ahead still of Zenki. So I'm not sure if there was contact or if Zenki just lost it coming out of turn 10. But he's fighting the back end all over, and that is going to allow Barry a very easy move into P11 then. So Zenki did well to keep hold of it, but has lost those 2 positions as a result, and is now out of the points. Well, sorry, he's out of the points. Janul taking that little last spot there. 8.4 seconds. The gap is increasing between Wayne and Gunanan. So Wayne looking very very good here. With of course, but it's very early. There's 11 laps to go, including the one they're on. So plenty of time for things to go wrong. As Barry picks up a penalty, I'm guessing out of the last corner it was. Zenki then comes into the pits to retire. Why would he come in? Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. As Francis picks up a penalty, still squared away with Cliffy. There they are for P12 now. This battle has now become. As Poe then retires as well, so we're losing drivers thick and fast. We're down to 14 runners now. Not quite points available for everyone, but closer and closer. This race has left a few quite frustrated, I'm sure. But the big one, of course, the championship leader Blizzard, retiring from this race. I'm guessing of his own choice rather than through an actual incident himself. Frustrated, I think, with the damage. This he was starting in 4th, had a tough one. Flag in sector 2. Not sure who that's for. But picked up the wing damage after the VSC and as such, trying to make his way through the field after he disconnected, having disconnected from the lead of the race. Kind of just went backwards from there. So great news for everyone else in the title hunt. Tough day at the office for Blizzard. I have to look at the championship implications then. Very early, of course, still, but I have to look at it nevertheless when this race is over. Still 10 laps to go in this one. The field has spread out just a bit. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. I'll come back to you in a sec because Cliffy has gone very defensive. Francis pulling over to the left hand side. Of course, no DRS then. It is purely built on straight line speed. Bit of wheel banging between the two, and almost very nearly kind of Francis's tyres nearly trapped between the front and rear of Cliffy, but he's still holding that position. Is Cliffy. Francis just filing in behind. It's all straight line speed this now, and Cliffy a bit of a wobble. Well, straight line speed and driver error, I guess, as a bit of a wobble for Cliffy means that Francis can just nip through and he's into P12. They are a long way behind Barry, 13 seconds behind Barry for 11th, so they're going to have to rely on a few more retirements then if they want some points out of this one. At least 2 retirements in the top, inside the top 10. Of course, we have Zoom here as well in 14th place, still pedaling around, but last at the moment. So then Rafa has pulled out a gap on Alfie for 4th, but Alfie's not been able to drop It's Me, and Lickle is, I'm not sure if he's catching, but he's 2.5 seconds behind It's Me in 6th place. I actually think Sterling West has been, well, he was catching, yeah, has a moment there, literally as I say, he was catching, so sorry, commentator's curse. He was catching, and Cliffy is out then. I don't know if that was an incident or not, but that is Cliffy out, and now we are down to 13 runners. Oh, big moment there for Sterling West. We had actually closed the gap to Gonan and had built a decent gap to Rafa. That's now all come apart, and now he's slip sliding everywhere off the track, and now Rafa is back within the 1 second range. Of course, no DRS in these wet conditions, but certainly not a great lap for Sterling West. Let's actually have a cheeky look at the lap time that last time round. 46.3, 45.2, so you can see the time that he lost compared to Rafa. Still at the back, Alfie not budging, holding on to that 5th place for now. A couple of drivers getting a bit close to each other between Rafa and Sterling West, and then It's Me and Alfie. About the only battles we have on track for the moment, though we're close to some others. Leon not too far behind Lickle, and Abiodun not too far behind that either. But for now, these are the battles we have in this race, with 9 laps to go, including the one they're on. There's a lot of pardons going on in the chat. I'm not sure if I missed something. Just see if it. I'm sure the setups are quite similar, but it's all about exit out of this turn 13. This is actually a better exit for It's Me compared to Alfie, but has he got the straight line speed? To get this done. Not really, it's close, isn't it? But just not close enough. Although he is close alongside, but again, Alfie holding that inside line. That's the thing. You have to have enough straight line speed, whereas Alfie is doing a great job here defending this one. But in saying that, has extended the final corner and picks up a penalty. And now It's Me is right there as well. Will he go for the dive? No, he won't. And Alfie has to be careful not to run too wide here, as to open the door for It's Me. I'm clearly missing something here with these pardons, lads. I really am. Someone's going to have to give me some context. Some inside joke I'm missing, I'm sure. Meanwhile, away from all that, we have seen this close up a bit. So Sterling West has recovered somewhat and has closed up to the back of Gonan. I think Gonan's made a mistake somewhere, because he's now 11 seconds behind Wayne, so he's lost a bit more time. Sterling West then less than a second behind that. There's Rafa, and then there's Alfie a little bit further behind that. Lads, I'm so confused with you in the chat. I don't have a clue what you're on about. I really don't. As long as my microphone works, that's all I care about. So still close. We have like a sector 2. Oh, and Francis is out. There he is. You can see him just there. You got to go back and see him. You could just see it for a second, and Jimmy lost it on the exit of turn 6. Then by the looks of it, you can see that Mercedes was parked. Was facing sideways, facing the wrong way, and I'm guessing that was what did that. So then we are down now to 12 runners. Oh, just stopping in time as Rafi almost slammed into the back of Sterling West. Any wing damage now at this stage would be catastrophic. Very catastrophic at this point, especially. Oh, they're coming into the pits. Hello, we're going to have the full wets here, it seems. So Wayne is carried on. Everyone else is coming into the pits. Oh, here's a spat. Here's a wrinkle. Hello, hello indeed. Or is it just tire wear? It could also be tire wear. These inters really go that far. Rafa serving his penalty here. So going in on fresh inters, then wet tires, then Has that a mistake then for Golden? Does he mean to go on the intermediates? Because everyone else around him is going on wets. They're all coming in for wets. Abiodun and Wayne have carried on. To be fair, Wayne is at a point where he could probably limp it out, because realistically he can. Sterling West is 35 seconds behind, so Wayne could probably limp this out. He could play it safe. If he's going to play it safe, he needs to come in this lap before he loses too much time. Otherwise, he can just limp to the end and he'll be fine. So that's an interesting one for Golden. And then am I still streaming? God, I don't understand. The chat is. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. It's going and then try and slip and slide his way. Nickel with the better tyres. It looks like the track really is now is wet tyres, and Golden, unfortunately, whether he made a mistake or whatever the case may be, he is losing out big time here. It's a second place finish then for Golden, and going down the drain with this weather. And sadly for him, dropping places left, right, and centre. Wayne is going to pit down now. He's going to respond then. Can he slow down in time? He does. Better if the audio is back now. I'm just reading the chat. Unless my microphone died midway. Let me know if the audio is back. Wayne is pitching as well. Wayne's pitched. Abiodun's carried on. So interesting choice there for Abiodun to carry on in the wet. It's Rafa then right behind. It's me still. Alfie then. So Little's actually managed to jump up position here out of all these guys. He's now on P5. Just a few seconds behind Alfie then. 2. Hello? 2. So, let me, hold on, bear with me 2 seconds. Oh, lads, I'm going to kill you, I swear. You put me off. Wayne then down the inside of Abiodun on the intermediates. Oh, lads, I could slap you, I swear to God. Wayne then retakes the lead. Abiodun, this is a bold choice from Abiodun then. I'm going to kill you, I swear, for making me think my mic was broke. I paid 70 quid for this mic, or 60 quid rather, sorry, for the special Call of Duty one, so if it broke I was going to be very, very mad. So Wayne then retakes the lead. He should be good to go from here at the end. You're right, from now on I'll never listen to the chat again. You're all being closed. I'm never looking at you again through a stream. Yeah, that's for sure. So Golden, and then he's lost. I'm not sure what happened with Golden, and if that was the plan, it's just horribly misjudged, or if he had the tyre selected and changed last second, I don't know. But he's look at that. He's going to be lucky to get points here at this stage. So for anyone who, any of the drivers who kind of quit after, they thought points were not possible, that's why you always keep going. You always keep driving. You just don't know. Meanwhile, Lickle was kind of, I don't want to say nowhere, but he's definitely liking these conditions a bit more than the intermediate conditions for sure. And he's putting pressure on the back of Lickle. He's got Rafa behind him for company. Well, to be fair, if Golden, I was going to say I'm surprised Golden hasn't pitted, but to be fair, if he pits, he loses that last point anyway, so you may as well hang it out at this stage. Abiodun is committed to this then, so at the moment he's in the podium spot. He's got 8 seconds to Alfie in 4th. It could work out for Abiodun. We'll see if it works, but worth a gamble, I guess, at the very least. At this stage, worst case scenario, he finishes basically where he was anyway. Best case scenario, there's a podium there in the making. So we'll see how that unfolds for Abiodun. Lap 24 of 28 Yeah, it's been a very entertaining Chinese Grand Prix. I'm always afraid in the wet conditions and the such when that things might spread out, but this extra uh, stint on the wets has definitely helped, and it's definitely helped Rafa here. A little bit of closing up on Nickel. He's just dropped back of It's Me. He's going to have the outside line. Can he drive around the outside? Nickel trying to hold on. Switch back for Rafa. Nickel will have the inside line for the last corner. He dares, hangs it, and Rafa has to back out of it. And Nickel holds on for the time being. There's someone running very wide there for a second. Not sure who that was. Maybe been Gonan actually. As Nickel, I think. Oh, there's a spinner. That's a spinner for Joom. Gonan then, yeah, he's into the pits. Is Gonan then? So I thought I saw something in the background there. So Gonan pits then. I wonder if he will retire now at this stage. He had nothing else to race for as such. Meanwhile, so Nickel slipping and sliding, still holding on. Sterling West 1.5 seconds behind Abiodun and closing rapidly. I think Abiodun is going to run out of laps here to hold on to this podium, but we'll see. Oh yes, he's got a penalty as well actually, now that I think about it, so he's definitely not holding on to this one. But still, could hold on to fourth if nothing else. 4 laps ago, including the one there on. The visibility has dramatically decreased. We're having similar conditions than we had in qualifying. Down the inside goes Sterling. This would be a great second place for Sterling West, but has to negotiate that Sauber on. Oh, a safety car has been deployed. A safety car. Can you believe it? Lap 25 of 28. The safety car has come out. Wow, this race really has had it all. This is the latest I've ever seen a safety car come out on this game. Lap 25 of 28. Wow. Just when you thought that was it, there's one last wrinkle thrown into the equation. So this is good news for Gonan, if nothing else. Will Abiodun pit then? What will he do? The problem for Abiodun is, this is the worst thing for Abiodun, is this safety car. He is going to come into the pits, because if he stayed out, everyone bunches up behind him and he loses everything, basically, as everyone just drives past him on the tyre. So Wayne then is going to pick up the safety car somewhere along the way. It's going to be a quick. They have to hurry up. Like, it's going to be tough. They're not. I don't think everyone's going to catch each other, because surely we're going to have at least 1 or 2 laps of racing conditions. Given how late it is, because we won't finish under safety car. This game is not good enough to finish under safety car. So let's see then who can make up the most ground. Wayne has picked up the safety car then, as Francis then leaves the session. So of course he's out then. So Abiodun then has come out into 9th place then. He's on the freshest set of tyres of everyone. Bar Gonan really here, of course, maybe 1 lap for Gonan. Poor Gonan, I think, isn't actually. We'll see if he catches up. He is got. How much has he got to catch up? A minute. I'm not sure if he'll get that catch up before the safety car peels in or not. I have no idea what that safety car is. Look at the visibility. It is utterly tragic. This is going to be the driver's going to take such. If they do get to bunch up to each other, pray for the front wings, because otherwise it's in this lap. So there you go then. That's the thing. This is the thing I was thinking of. So here we go. The safety car is in this lap. So 1 lap. It has brought Sterling. It has brought basically the top 5 together. Who's losing out? Well, Gonan's obviously losing out, pretty much. He'd be lucky to catch up to the back of Barry for that. I think everyone else though is kind of thereabouts. Abiodun's going to miss out a bit here, I think, as well. We'll see. But Wayne then, of course, now becomes the pace car. It's up to him then to determine the speed then, as the safety car gets ready to depart into the pit lane. It's not really giving the safety car a lot of room. So they're all bunched up now. Whose front wing is going to go missing? We have 2 laps. 2 laps here in the wet. It's all bunched up. It's all to play for. Everything in the first 26 laps, it almost doesn't matter to a degree what's happened. Everyone's close together. Here we go then. The restart. Wayne's going to get started. 2 laps to go. He's really backed them up, hasn't he? To the absolute extreme, and Alfie is going to take advantage immediately of Sterling West. I can't see. I literally can't see a damn thing. There's 4, there could be 5 wide, I have no idea. But Wayne is holding on to the lead. Sterling trying to fight back against Alfie. Leon then storming his way through. Leon then heading up towards second place and having to go for the lead of the race. He's going to have him the outside. Nicholas out. It's me is out. It's all kicked off. Alfie's there. Janul is there. Rafa's there. Sterling is falling down the field. Leon, absolutely incredible start behind that safety car. Brilliant stuff. He's up to second. Alfie then slips into third. Janul. Oh, and Alfie having a look against Leon. There's contact. There's been a penalty for Janul for ignoring yellow flag. I have to say, Wayne behind that safety car. The back in it, very, very odd tactics to back them up. Rafa is now out as well. It's all kicking off. Points are on hand. Leon trying to fight back on Alfie. Janul's gone up to second. Wayne still holding on to first place. His teammate now is behind him. Leon, Alfie, Sterling now has fallen all the way down to 5th. Can we see any wings damage? Abiodun in 6th. Barry then has damaged his wing. Oh, and Leon and Alfie, there is contact there. And Sterling West on the outside, running into the back of Leon. He's pushed him wide, and Alfie's going to come through, but Alfie's trying to fight the back end, and that gives Leon a chance still. Abiodun is now is fighting along Sterling West into 5th and 6th. This is absolutely insane stuff. Poor Gonanan is still not caught up. I still can't see a damn thing heading down that straight, but Janul is going to have a look on his teammate. He's for the lead of the race, lap 27 of 28. It's been Wayne's race for pretty much this entire race ever since Blizzard disconnected, basically. He's under pressure. Alfie, Leon, Sterling West is there as well. Who's going to emerge? I have no idea. Janul then hasn't been able to get that move done. Alfie, Leon still battling away. I think Leon's going to have the inside line. Alfie then on the inside. Sterling West can take advantage of the exit. This is the last lap of the race. So Wayne is still ahead of his teammate Janul. We'll see what penalties are going to be applied here afterwards with track limits and such. We'll find out where it all ends up, but Wayne looking good for now, as Leon, Alfie, Sterling, Abiodun are still so close. This is for a podium. There's a podium spot up here for grabs. They all seem to have their front wings intact, which is good. You don't want to see battles decided by damage like that, but for now Alfie is holding on. There's a 2-second gap between Janul and Wayne. It's going to be a Force India 1-2 by the looks of it on track. And the late lunge is Abiodun on Sterling West. He has to open up the steering and has to go off the track, and Nick Abiodun is going to get that. So after falling through the field after his pit stop on the safety car for coming off intermediates, Abiodun's recovered well to 5th place here. But is there more in store? Is there anything Janul can do to take this win away from his teammates, who has basically had this under wraps for almost half the race now? Is there one last twist in the tail for the last time they exit turns 11 and 12? It's all about the exit. They've got enough ERS. I think Wayne is looking good, provided he doesn't lose the back end. He's looking good at the for third here. Alfie looks like he's got a bit of a gap on Leon and Abiodun, so I think we could be set then for the order we've got. Let's see how it unfolds then to end as we cross the finish line. It's been a utterly manic race. Absolutely insane. Well, it looks like Wayne is going to take any last dives then, heading down. Nothing of the sort. I think it's going to be it. Round the last corner comes Wayne. He had a scare there after the safety car restart, but he's going to come across the line, and he wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Alfie then comes up to second, Leon third, Abiodun fourth, Sterling West up to second on penalty. So Alfie third, Leon fourth, Abiodun fifth. Janul then, that's a shame, finished on track second, drops down to sixth. Barry then from last place on the grid is going to come seventh. Gonanan looks like he's going to come eighth, but he's got Joom right behind him. Can Joom do anything about it? I don't think so. There could be penalties at play here as well. Out of the final corner. And Gonanan then will cross the line in 8th and will finish 8th. Joom then rounds out the grid, the field. 9 of 20 started, 9 finished. We had a VSC, we had a safety car, we had dry conditions, we had intermediate, we had full wet conditions. We had that race, absolutely everything. And Wayne in the end is going to hoist that trophy. I mean, to everyone who finished, congratulations. I mean, you've been part of an utterly insane race. I'm going to look at the results screen, and we'll look up for a driver of the day. And unfortunately, I don't have time to conduct interviews. I have to run off. Thankfully this race didn't end for it didn't go after 6:30, thankfully. Um, but we will hand out a driver of the day for sure. Hand out. I'm going to say who driver of the day was. Give me those 2,500 points for watching that incredible race. Right then. To be fair, look, everyone deserves a shout really from here. They really do for finishing the race. But I think I will give it to Wayne. He had everything under control. Once Blizzard disconnected, he had a very good gap before the safety car. He survived the safety car restart. He started from 6th. Look, everyone deserves a shout. Honestly, Sterling West from 12th. Look, everyone deserves a shout. But I think I will give it to Wayne. He's also one of the few that didn't have penalties in the end as well. So I think that is I think that's a fair result then, given everything. So there's your lot. We had a lot of DNFs. Absolutely insane race. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. Just the most ludicrous race you'll probably see for a while. So yeah, not much else to say. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies there won't be any interviews. I do have to run off. But thank you for watching, and until next time.